Hey everybody! This video is going to go over the topic writing an equation in slope-intercept form given the slope and a point. So the question looks like this. A line passes through the point 12, -7 and has a slope of -2/3. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for this line. Now, a problem could be worded slightly different, right? But the same concept applies. We have a point and a slope that are given. Okay, so we have m equals -2/3. That is our slope. And then we have a point 12, -7. What can we do with this point? Well, I know I want it in slope-intercept form. So in the end, I'm going to want it in y equals mx plus b. I'm going to show you two different methods to solve this. I have a point x1, y1 here. Let's just label it that. Okay? Now what I could do is I could use my slope-intercept form where I have m equals -2/3. And then I can plug in x and y of my point into this equation. So my y is -7 and my x is 12. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve for b. Okay, so -2/3 times 12, what is that? Well, 12 divided by 3 is 4. So I'm left with -7 equals -8 plus b. Now add 8 to both sides. And I should get 1 equals b. So that means my equation is going to be y equals -2/3 x plus b, which is 1. Now there's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to use the point slope form of a line, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So how would we do this one? Well, our y1 is -7. Make sure you stick that in parentheses. M is -2/3, and then x is 12. So on this left side, I've got y plus 7, and then I have to make sure I multiply this -2/3 by each of those. So I get -2/3 x plus -2/3 times a -12. I gotta squish that in there. Alright, you can see I'm kind of getting the same stuff as on the left, just with some different signs. So y plus 7 equals -2/3 x. Now -2/3 times 12. We already did this. Now this is a negative times a negative, so that becomes a positive. Now I can just subtract 7 from both sides, and I get y equals -2/3 x plus 1. So either method, I end up with the same thing. Okay? A good way to check might be to do both methods. Another way to check would be to stick this in your calculator or graph it and see if this line goes through the point 12, -7. That is writing an equation in slope-intercept form given the slope and a point.